Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to another Week in My Life vlog. My name is Katie. I'm a fourth year first grade teacher, and I'm so glad you're here for today's video. Today's video is a super exciting one because it is actually being sponsored by Cricut. I am so excited. I love the Cricut brand, Cricut products, all things Cricut, and so I'm excited throughout this week in my life to show you some of the fantastic ways that I've used my Cricut, and then to show you some goodies they've sent me and make some projects for my classroom as well. So I'm going to show you, kind of walk you through how to make some later on in the vlog. I thought I would start out today by telling you my experience with Cricut and then showing you in my classroom some projects that I've done to help organize and make things cuter, of course. So my mom bought a Cricut years ago, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and when she got it, I helped her a lot with the technology side, designing things, and she taught me how to cut and how to do the iron-on and apply the vinyl, and so we kind of teamwork, tag-teamed, learned how to use the Cricut, and she has way more experience with it than me because I didn't have my own device until this past year at Christmas. So this past year at Christmas, I got a Cricut maker, and I have used it to make so many things for my classroom. I've even made teacher tees, as you'll see right here. And those are amazing. I made them for Valentine's Day last year. So there are just so many options and endless uses for the Cricut machine. So without further ado, let me show you some of the things that I have made with my Cricut machine that are already in my classroom. And then later on this week, I'm going to make some new projects to add as well. The first project I wanted to show you are my weekly paper drawers. I put this Cricut on my very first year of teaching, so that was 3 years ago, and it is still going strong. So I just labeled each drawer so I have my copies for the week. Inside the drawers adds a cute little statement there. I also love to use my Cricut on magnets. So anytime I have magnets in my classroom, I put numbers on them for student numbers. I started doing this my second year instead of putting names on things, just doing numbers so I could keep them year to year, and it was such a game changer. So this is our wish well from Conscious Discipline. Anytime a student is gone, we put them in the middle of the circle and we wish them well and move their magnet when they come back. I've also shown these in another vlog, but these are my center magnets that I use for rotations. So when the students have centers, they come and they find their magnet and they can see which center they are supposed to be going to. I used the removable vinyl, or it could be permanent vinyl, I can't remember, and cut it with my Cricut machine and then just put them onto the magnets. Another project that I started last year was putting student numbers on Chromebook cases. Last year, my old school went one-to-one because of the pandemic, and this year at my new school, we're also one-to-one with Chromebook devices. And having the number on there is just a super simple way to tell whose is whose, and it's easy to remove if I needed to. So I had one Chromebook that was broken, and I needed to turn it in, so I can just rip the sticker off, and it doesn't take long to cut new ones either. You guys are gonna get so tired about hearing about the numbers, but last year when we had to individualize everything because of COVID, I went crazy with the Cricut numbers. So these are my student data binders, and I keep all of their work in here that I need to keep for my records for grading purposes. And then down here, I have math toolkits, and they're also labeled by number for the students because we used these last year with our old math curriculum, and every student had one in their cubby. So all of the number systems match across the board because I did all of them with my Cricut. This is one of my pride and joys of my classroom, is my teacher stool. I made it, was it last summer? I think it was last summer, and let me tell you, now that I have a teacher stool, I won't go back to the rocker because this is just so much more convenient to get up and down. But I did Cricut my name across the top, so I painted it and then I printed that out with black vinyl and put that on the top just for an extra little statement on my stool. The last two examples are kind of cutesy ones. So I did my header for my Vowel Valley sound wall up here with Cricut. So I was able to use one of my fun teacher fonts, and this is just cardstock, and then I laminated the cardstock. And then if you come over to this side, I did the same thing with the consonant cabinet. This one just looks a little different because the letters were so small and there were so many that I laminated it in like a sheet so it was easy to apply. But it makes some super cute and super easy bulletin board letters. The last idea I wanted to share, I'm gonna have to do a little pop-up picture of right here because it's not December, it's September, so I don't have these in my room. But I used my Cricut, or my mom's Cricut, every year to make these elves for my students. Now my mom made them my first year and my second year, I think, but I did it on my own last year. But I asked the kids if they had a pet elf, what would they name it? And I write it down, and then I get these elves from the Dollar Tree, and I used the Cricut. I used sparkly white HTV vinyl, which is the kind that goes on fabric, and I put the name that they would name their elf across the front, and then I put the year on their shoe, and then I think I did like a snowflake on their hat as well. So it's a super cute way to customize it. And then I don't do the student's name on it. I like to give like their elf's name. So like a lot of times it's so funny, like one kid was like, I want to name my elf Spider-Man, so his elf's shirt said Spider-Man. But they absolutely love those, and it is like the highlight of my December every year to give them those elves that are customized with the name they picked out, because they just treasure it and they love them so much. So that is just a handful of ways that I have used the Cricut in my classroom to customize things around my room, to organize, and mainly to like number and label things. So like I said earlier in the video, later on this week, I'm going to be making some new projects for my classroom using my new Cricut machine. So make sure you continue watching all the way through so you can get a little tutorial on how you can use the Cricut machine to do simple projects for your classroom. And again, huge thanks to Cricut for sponsoring this video. I truly love their products so much, and I'm so excited to get to share them with you guys. Now I'm going to continue to go around the room and turn things on and set things up. Mondays are hard for me because I spend the whole weekend not thinking about school at all, because I'm setting that boundary this year, and you could tell in my last vlog that I was like exhausted on Friday. So I did not think about school at all. So now I'm walking around kind of refreshing myself for what I need to do for the week. I'm gonna get a good start today. It's gonna be a good Monday, and I will check in with you guys later. If you can't tell already, I have my things. I'm ready to bounce. We have meetings in the afternoons on Mondays, and it just ended, so I'm ready to go. But before I do, I will share 2 good things for the day, because that's going to help my soul today. First good thing, I introduced the computer center and the listening center, and they did really well with going to the correct center. Like, I didn't have to really correct anybody and send them to the right spot, which was good. Second thing, let's see, what's the second thing? I felt like reading whole group went well. Like, we were more focused, we sat quieter, which was really good. So I feel like we got a lot done. Here are those center rotations. So I shared in a last vlog a while ago that I put those middle 2 up, and now I have the rest, which is nice because it kind of splits them up for centers. But for computer center, we did a typing club, so typing practice. Listening center I have to fix. I was trying to use my Google Slides from last year, and they didn't quite work. There was like a technology error, so I'm gonna have to test that out again in the morning. And then I had my same word work and writing center, but they did really good finding their magnet and going to the correct one. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I don't have long to chat. Tuesdays are morning duty days, and I was so ready to leave yesterday after our meeting in the afternoon that I didn't cut math journal problems or set those out, and I need to see if the fix that I did for the listening center worked on a student computer. So I'm not gonna chit chat long. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with those things so I can be ready in about 30 minutes to go out to the playground. Great news, I got the listening center to work. This is kind of what my Canvas page looks like for my class, and I set it up to where when I clicked on the link, it would open up a Google Doc right here in present mode. And yesterday I just didn't have the permissions shared correctly, but now I do. So then they can just click on a book on the bookshelf, which is nice, and it will pull up that book for them on YouTube. Sea turtles. Yeah. So most of them go with a theme Like in September, I have a bunch of nonfiction texts. October, they're all Halloween themed. And I don't love that they're on YouTube. I used to use a Safe Link website, but then it stopped working, and so I had to go switch them all to YouTube because they just weren't working. And so if you have any ideas on how to get these videos not on YouTube, like some kind of Safe Link thing that does work, let me know. But I'm pumped because now the listening center is up and running. Okay, I got everything set up, put in my homework copies for next week, and I'm ready to go. I'm hoping, here's hoping, that today is just an uneventful Tuesday in my life, but I will report back in the afternoon and let you know. Hey friends, I am at home. It was a long day full of meetings. I'm exhausted, so I'm just sitting here at home waiting for my husband to come home from work, and I'm working ahead on some math plans. I'm really excited because we're going to be starting adding in our next unit. We started with shapes, and that's just been really tough because shapes are so abstract. We can't read. It's been hard. So I'm very excited to go to the basics of math, counting, adding, and get to do some building block steps up and really see some progress in math. So we use our Go Math curriculum in our district. That's not the curriculum I'm familiar with. I use Investigations in my previous district, and Investigations incorporated a lot of games and activities for the students to do, which I like because I feel like Go Math is a lot of do this in your workbook, and I don't like that. I like to give them time to explore and to practice with partners. So I'm kind of supplementing some of the games that I would have used in Investigations and then some resources on TPT. But I found these picture addition task cards. I will put the TPT link in the description below, but we're gonna start with these because it starts with using pictures to add, then making models to add, and then eventually building up more strategies. So I'm starting at the very basic. I have these picture task cards that we're gonna use, and then I also have a number recognition game that I have shared on my Instagram right here. And I will also link that down below because I got that last year and use it for my EL friends who didn't know their numbers, but it's good to use at the beginning of first grade anyways. So I'm going to be using those two as our first swap out stations that we're going to do in math. And then I'm going to eventually add in some more addition games that don't have the picture support. So I'll move to some games where they roll the dice. So they still have the dice support on there, but they don't necessarily have a picture of apples and bananas. And then eventually we'll switch to number dice and take away that scaffold as we go. So I'm just planning on some math stuff, working on prepping some task cards and getting some activities that they can get their hands on and they can do during math. But that's it. That's all I've got for this Tuesday, so I will see y'all tomorrow. Hello, good morning, happy Wednesday. I don't have much time to chat. I got here a little later today, still before contract hours, but I got here at 7:30 because I don't have duty or anything this morning, but I still needed to come a little early because I'm getting a new student today. So I'm really excited to meet them. I'm also a little anxious and nervous. Everybody knows kind of the new student feel. I'm at least glad that I got a heads up yesterday that I was getting a new student because sometimes they just surprise you on the day of, and that can be a scramble. But I was just anxious all night about having a new student and everything else that's already going on. So I got here early. I already have their name on the desk. I already did their transportation sticker for the afternoon, so I know how they go home. And now I'm gonna look and see if they're in our database so I can get their computer login set up, and then see if I can get a journal so they can have a math journal with us in the morning. I'm just gonna try to get as many things as I can that we do on a normal day so that they can have it. The good news is I already have a number for them because one of our students left earlier in the year, and so I just left that number in our number order open, and so now she's just gonna fill in that number. So I already have a cubby numbered, I already have magnets numbered. I just had to put them back up, so that was good. After this, that won't happen though because I don't have another number after that. So I'll have to get a little baggie ready with new student stuff. But I'm gonna try to do all of that, and I'm also gonna go down to the copy room, get the things that I put in yesterday, and take the math things that I was getting ready to prep last night I go ahead and get those done in advance. That way all I'll have to do when those math plans roll around is read them, review them, prep, like set them up, but I'll have everything copied. So that's my plan for the morning. It's a lofty plan, but I gotta get going. We are currently in the McDonald's drive-thru getting celebratory Dr. Peppers because today was not crappy. I didn't even check in at the end of the day because I met with other teachers. I had like a meeting, and then I was working on plans and prepping stuff in my room, so I didn't even pick up my camera. But it was a good day. So we're getting Dr. Peppers.
I'll cover the cost for you.
Oh, thanks. That's so sweet. So sweet. Actually, it was my idea. I was like, let's go get Dr. Peppers. I want one. So yeah, I'm excited. Surprise! I'm not at work. I am at home. I went and got coffee this morning and came home because it is fall holiday for our district. For some reason, there's like a random Thursday where we have off for a fall holiday, and then we go back to school tomorrow. So it's literally just a random Thursday. It's not even like a long weekend. It's not on a Friday or a Monday. So it's kind of bizarre, but that's okay. I got up, went and got coffee this morning because I had a free one. So probably tricked you there. It looked like a normal day in my life for school, but here I am back at home, and now I'm going to use the day to work on some Cricut projects at home. So I'm going to finish eating my breakfast. I got a pumpkin donut because I had a gift card and then my free beverage reward. So I was like, why not? It's my day off. Let's enjoy myself. And then I'm going to get started with some of the Cricut stuff. Okay, first off, I'm going to show you all of the Cricut supplies and materials that I have that I'm going to be using to make these projects. I really love the fact that my house looks like a Michael's Craft store, and I'm totally here for it. So let's look at the different Cricut materials and supplies I will be using. So first up is this Cricut Maker machine right here. This is the one that I got for Christmas back in December of last year, and I've already used it to make a ton of projects. It has the ability to cut lots of materials such as vinyl that you see up here. It can cut cardstock. It has a stylus feature to write. It can also cut like magnet sheets and leather, all kinds of things. So I'm really excited to have that Cricut Maker, and it's so versatile in what it can cut. And then over here is my brand new Cricut Explore 3 device. So thank you so much, Cricut, for sending this to me and sponsoring this video. I'm really excited to try it because it can also cut a lot of materials just like the Cricut Maker can. But it's supposed to be able to cut them faster, and it also has matless cutting. So this right here is a Cricut Mat, if you've never used a Cricut before, and it's kind of just like a sticky plastic thing that you stick your material on, and then you would feed it into your machine to cut it. So my Cricut Maker, I've got to use the mat for, but my Explore 3 can do matless cutting. So if I use smart materials like the ones on the back wall, smart iron-on, smart vinyl, then I can just feed the material straight into the machine and it will cut it without the mat, which makes it go so much faster. And I've already tried it with a project and it really does cut super fast. It can also connect to my computer via Bluetooth, which is super exciting. And there are just so many possibilities, and it's so easy to set up, and it lets you get your project up and running super quickly. So these are some of the supplies that I got, and then I'm also really excited in the back. We have a Cricut Easy Press, and so that I'm going to use later on in the video to create a t-shirt. You use it to put iron-on vinyl on things. You can use an iron just to iron it down, and I've done that before to make teacher tees in the past, but the Easy Press is supposed to be quicker and work much better for sticking those iron-on decals onto fabric. So I'm really excited to try that out in today's video. The first official step was getting the blanks to make my projects on. So today I'm going to be making 2 t-shirts just on some marked down comfort color tees that I got at a local store. You can also find comfort color tees at Hobby Lobby. And then I got this bag from Hobby Lobby, and I shared it in a previous vlog. It's our book bag for the library. So I'm going to do a decal that says book bag on the front to label it. And then I'm also going to be making some vinyl decals for their desks. The next step is to make the design on the computer. So to make the design, you use Cricut Design Space, which is a program you download. As you can see, it has all of my past projects right here that I've been working on for my classroom. You can scroll back and see all the old ones. But today I'm going to make a new one, and I'm going to work on my book bag design to kind of show you guys what I did. So here is what the blank design space looks like. It's the design canvas. You can add all of these things over on the side, shapes, etc., all of that. So I'm going to add a square that's kind of the shape that I want and the size that I want my design to be. I won't cut this square out in the end, but it will help me to kind of size my design as I work on it. And then I can even change the color of it. And since I'm using like a canvas bag, I'll make it like a canvasy color, kind of just to give me a good idea of what this is going to look like as a finished product. Next, I'm going to add my text, and I'm just going to type in book bag. And then I'm going to center align it and kind of put it in the middle of where my design's going to go. Now, there are lots of fonts. Cricut has a lot on their system that you can purchase or download. And then you can also use any fonts that are on your computer system as well. So there are lots of font options. I'm just going to look for one that I know that I kind of want. I like the retro vibe right now. So this one is called Keep On Truckin'. So I'm kind of going to make that. And then I just kind of play around with my fonts until I find something that I really like. Now, this cool feature that they just added is called offset. And I really like it because you can click on your words and then you can add an outline around it, and you can choose how thick the outline is going to be. And it's a really cool kind of retro effect, but I've also seen people use this to make magnets, and I think it's just super neat. So it's a great addition to Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to add like a 0.12 inch offset border and click apply. Then I have to highlight the border and the text together and use the slice tool to kind of cut it apart, and then I can remove the text and the inside of the text so I can just get the outline. So here's what that cute outline looks like, and I'm going to put that in my design like so. And then the next thing I'm going to do is upload a photo that I actually downloaded. So I have this super cute one of Mo Willems' pigeon that I'm going to put on there. So I clicked on it. You can upload any image and make it a cut file onto Cricut Canvas. And I'm just going to put it in there with the little book bag, which I think is so cute. Turned out adorable, and I love the little pigeon. His lines are going to be a little skinny, but I don't think that'll be a problem because I'm going to make it big enough for that bag, so it should cut just fine. And that is my finished design. And then at the end, I'm going to delete the rectangle eventually because I don't need it to actually cut. I won't actually cut the rectangle out. It was just there to help me size. Then I'm going to click on the two, and I'm going to highlight them both and weld them together, and that keeps the image all connected. It connects the pigeon to all the letters, so when it prints, they print together. And then delete the extra, and we are ready to click Make It. Once you click Make It, it'll show you what it looks like on the mat. There's two options, and I'm going to use without a mat because I'm using the Explore 3, but if you needed to use a mat, you just click on. So I'm going to click on that option and then click Done. And once I've done that, I'm going to choose my material type. I'm also going to click on Mirror because I'm doing HTV vinyl. So anytime you're doing an iron-on, you have to mirror the image. So I click on Mirror right here, and then I can click on Continue. I can also move it around if I need to on the mat, but then I'll click on Continue once I have it where I would like it, and I am ready to cut. Next, I'm going to load my material onto this cutting board. Since it has matless cutting, the Explore 3 can use this cool accessory where you put your roll of Smart Iron-On vinyl inside the little tray, and then it comes with a cutter too, so you can cut it when you're finished. Then I'll click Continue, and it gives me an option to select my material. So I'm going to select Smart Iron-On, and it will pick the pressure setting for me for the cutting and remind me to click Mirror. Then I click the blinking flashing arrows, and that will load the iron-on into the machine and measure it to make sure I have enough material. Then I click the flashing Cricut button and the cutting begins. And this part is sped up a little bit, but when I get closer and I zoom in right about here, this is real-time cutting. This is how fast that machine goes to cut that vinyl, and I was just shocked by how quickly it cut with the smart materials. So So it cuts my design and gives me just progress on the screen as well. And then I use the little cutter, which is super cool, to just kind of snip it. And then I click on the arrow button and I can release what was in the machine. I'm holding it up to the light the best I can so you can see like where the cut design is. I think it turned out so great. After I've removed it from the machine, I use this sharp tool to do what's called weeding, and that is taking out the excess vinyl that you don't want in your design. So I'm picking out the letters and the inside of the pigeon using that sharp tool, and then I'm left with the vinyl I'm going to iron on. I was most excited to try out the Easy Press, and it was so simple. You click the temperature button and set it to the correct temperature based on their guide on the Cricut website, and then you let it heat up. After it's heated for a while, I took my product and I used the Easy Press to press down for about 5 seconds just to iron it and get any wrinkles to release before I applied the design. Then finally, I put the Smart Iron-On on the bag, and I placed the Cricut Easy Press on it and held it down for 30 seconds using the timer. I had to do it a couple times because of the unevenness of the straps, just to make sure that the whole design stuck. And then I finally had my finished product, which turned out so cute. Okay, so here are the 3 things that I made with the iron-on vinyl. First, here's the completed book bag. This was my first attempt with the Easy Press, and it was pretty easy, but I did discover that I had to kind of put it in different places because this made an uneven surface. So there are some places like the K where it got just a little messed up because I tried to peel it early, but it's not bad at all. It was really easy to use and much easier than using an iron, so that turned out really cute. And then I did 2 t-shirts as well. So I did one with just a simple teacher vibes on the frocket, and then this one was a doozy. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull this one off. But here's like the retro teacher font right here, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it because I had to do it in pieces so I could go onto the frocket. So that was kind of hard, but I think it turned out really cute. So those are my 3 projects that I did today. I also cut the vinyl to put on my students' desks because I'm gonna do little water droplet spots as a marker for where they put their water bottle on their desk because they fall and they keep them everywhere. So I'm doing a little vinyl spot, so any day they bring their water bottle, they put it on the water drop, and I cut out an extra Chromebook number. So tomorrow when I go to school, I will show you guys how to apply this. Y'all, it is Friday again, and I could not be more excited. I'm repping my teacher tee that I made yesterday, and I think it turned out like super cute. I put it on this morning. I was like, wow, it's even cuter now that I'm wearing it than it was when I was just looking at it on the couch yesterday. So I'm really excited because I'm wearing my new t-shirt, and then I get a whole weekend off, and so it's gonna be great. However, I didn't sleep very well last night. I don't know why, and I don't think it was because I had coffee in the morning, because usually I drink coffee and then I'm so tired by the end of the day. But I just was tossing and turning, and then I woke up an hour early and just tried to lay in bed and fall back asleep, and it didn't happen. And so that was a big bummer, but we're gonna make the best of it today. I'm drinking lots of water, trying to hydrate up, help myself stay healthy, get my body moving. I'm going to go around the room, set things up, and show you how I apply the Cricut vinyl onto the computer and the desks for their water bottle spots, and then we'll get our Friday started. This is how you apply the vinyl to a desk. So as you can see here, I have my little vinyl decal. It's hard to see because it's white on white, but there it is. And I'm going to be putting it right there on their desk to indicate where they can put their water bottle. So the first thing you'll need is Cricut transfer tape. It's just clear, sticky, kind of like contact paper, but we're going to use this to get the vinyl off of the backing. So I take my little piece of transfer tape and I'm going to peel it off of the backing and put it on top of my little vinyl decal. Then Cricut has a scraper tool, but often I just use whatever card I have on hand. So today that is my Costco card. Shout out to Costco. And I'm going to use the Costco card to scrape the vinyl to get the transfer tape to really stick onto the vinyl decal. Then once I think it's kind of stuck, I'm going to peel the transfer tape off, and you'll see that the vinyl decal comes up with it, just like that. Then I can use this just like a sticker and put it in the corner of the desk. And then again, I'm going to use that Costco card or your scraper tool, whatever you've got on hand. And I'm going to scrape it to make sure it stays and then carefully peel off the transfer tape. And that's how you apply the vinyl decal. Here's the process one more time. This time I'm applying a vinyl number 16 onto this Chromebook so you can see the vinyl right here. And I'm going to start with that Cricut transfer tape. You can reuse the pieces, which is super nice. So I'm reusing the piece, and again, I'm using the Costco card, and I'm just scraping the transfer tape so it really sticks to that vinyl. And then I can pull the transfer tape off, and sometimes the vinyl doesn't quite come with it, so I try to go at different angles. Like you can see here at the bottom, when I pulled from the bottom, the vinyl came up. Otherwise, just keep scraping till it works. Then I stick the label on there. And again, I'm going to use that Costco card to scrape it, or your scraper tool, whatever gift card you've got handy. And then I'm going to carefully peel off the transfer tape, and I'm left with just the vinyl sticker. All right, you guys, that concludes a week in my teacher life. It is the end of Friday. I just spent some time putting up these lovely Christmas lights because what else would you do on a Friday afternoon except for something just to make you smile, right? I had my new t-shirt, I've got new lights, and they just look really good with the lights off. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the vlog up here and then pack up my stuff and head home. But I wanted to give another huge shout out to Cricut for sponsoring this video this week, and remind you guys that if you would like any of the Cricut products that I mentioned, you can check the link in my description box below to get some for you as well. Super easy to use, very user friendly, and unlimited possibilities for the projects that you can make. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos from me throughout this school year, and I will see you guys in the next one.